Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bagger Don at Stock Market Caddy, and today is Wednesday, August 20th at about 1 p.m. We've been pretty busy the last few days with our Q schools, with our trading. Hope you are getting it done. We had a nice turn down um, yesterday, but we think at this point it may have been just that, just a turn down. Our timing model, Nicholas, did not yet trigger a short signal. We'll see. We'll see. We're monitoring that for ourselves, for our monthly members, as well as our members. Annual members have all these tools on their desktop, and we do have a program running, and we just activated it, and we'll try to be with you as much as I can here. We have a modest profit on this account on this market, which is five micro contracts, five MNQs. And the profit for the week is about 1,235, modest. We'll see if we can add to it today. And at the same time, as you have a chance to watch trades going in and out, and you know what is let's see here. You know what I may not have done? Um, Bear with me a moment. What I need to do, I don't know if my position window is open here. So let me try to do that, deal with that. Bear with me. I may have to, yeah, I've got to, do I have the position window open? I think so. Yeah, it's open. So let me, all we do, we're not hiding anything from you. We're just trying to dress that up a little bit so it doesn't look so noisy with all the various script from TradeStation, radar screen and stuff like that. No problem. So we'll just, do this to kind of clean it up. If you have any questions about who I am, what I'm about, what we're doing, and how we might be able to help you, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Oops. We do the YouTube sessions to create some curiosity, so that you can visit our website and and see if we are something that you would be interested in. We are mentors for those folks that want to trade, actively trade futures and options on an active basis. Folks, I'm not from Wall Street. I'm not from Madison Avenue. Nope. I spent 25 years of my life with surgeons before it was fashionable to wear a surgical mask, which, by the way, they're not much help. Just an FYI. Um, and But for the last wow, it's scary, yeah. Oh, is it 15 years? More? 15? Am I that old? I'm getting older. Um, we have been teaching people how to do this. Stock Market Caddy is right now is having one of its most it's six. When we started this, we did not set out to do Stock Market Caddy. Right, we're just managing our own bread for fun and for profit. And Stock Market Caddy came out of the ground in 2012, and I'm happy to say that Stock Market Caddy is having its best year ever. Our membership is the largest ever, both on a monthly and an annual basis. Of course, we have many more monthly members than annual members. Annual members, it's a big commitment. It's a very big commitment. You got to go through Q School initially. There's a cost of time and capital to do that. You only have to do it once. I'm at the mean of SIL going on the version. Oh, I'm at the mean of silver. I was like, right, Sil? We have a member named Sil. I think his first name is Sil. Right, Sil, if you're there, let me know. Um, but Sil is also the so you're at the mean. Where are you roughly at about 3780 or so, thereabouts? Is that maybe where you are? It's Kang Husu. Um, So you get to choose, when you're a trader. But let me finish dressing this up, and I'll answer some questions. But as a trader, you get to decide what you want to trade, what markets you want to trade, how much leverage you want to trade, what you want to trade, how you go about it, and there's an infinite number of possibilities. There just is. And you don't have to be all long, you don't have to be all short. You can be a hedger, right? You could be running your own little hedge fund with your own capital. I'm not talking about going out and, soliciting funds to run a hedge fund or anything. I mean, maybe you want to do that. Um, I I don't. Just don't have an interest. And I don't think I'm alone in that. A lot of the big hedge funds, very successful for years, including Carl Icahn Enterprises. A lot of the hedge funds have gone to what they call family mode, and we do that too, by the way. Um, they just don't want to they don't want to deal with the headaches of it all, and they just run what they call family desk, and you can do that, right? You can do that, and we do that for family to a little extent, but not public. I'm sorry to say. Stock Market Caddy is a mentorship for those folks who have the time, have the risk capital, the patience, the discipline, the maturity to want to try. And I get it, not everyone's going to want to do that. And that's okay. It's all right. We actually slow the whole process down. So, by the way, if there are any trades that go in, they're going to go in right here. You'll see them. I won't be putting them in. If I intervene, I'll let you know. We're trading just 5 micro and NQ contracts, 5 micro MNQs. You can see the NQ itself. And the market, is kind of jostling a little bit because of the big down day. I hope that didn't catch anybody by surprise. It did not catch our members by surprise. Nope. And we'll see what the program does intraday, and we'll also take a look at where we think we are on a daily basis as well, because we draw a distinction between trading intraday to trading daily, also on a swing basis. And you can be diversified not so much in what you hold, but in your approach, right? You can do a whole number of different things, and you can invest for the long term. We teach folks how we go about doing that, because we do have investment monies and segregated, and we do trade options on a swing basis, mostly defined risk options, and we trade futures intraday. Intraday. Yeah, there's Chris. Chris, how are you? You doing okay? I hope so. Chris is one of our newer annual members. And when we last chatted, Chris, you had told me that you were doing very well. I hope you've continued. Let me know. When folks finish the Q School, it's at that point we're still here in a support role to help where we can around the edges. But, Q School comes to an end, and the day-to-day intensity that we would have enjoyed with Chris and with others that are in Q School now and have gone through it before, you're fine. Beautiful. Beautiful. Um, Folks, get underway. And I don't pester anyone. I'm always curious, always interested. Love to hear from folks. Love to see their scorecards. We love to repost them as done for the week. That's great. That's great. That's a beautiful thing, Chris. So, Chris, we one of the things that we suggest and teach is that you start your trading early in the day, early in the week, with the idea in mind of ending your day early and ending your week early. So here it is, Wednesday at about 1:20, and Chris says he's done for the week. That's a beautiful thing, and he'll be that much eager to get started next week. And one of the things when you do that happens when you do it is when you roll into the following week, you'll remember, like, boy, last week I was done on Wednesday, so I don't have to be so eager on Monday morning to throw on some risk just to throw risk on. Um, what's the matter, Ted? A big grunt from Ted. I'm getting Mr. Graybeard. He's getting a little older, about 5 years old now. Our golden boy. So, any questions? We'll let you watch, and we'll narrate. Maybe before we go too far, let's put the VIX, and the VIX is turning down at 1220, suggesting that this market, well, they want to bounce it. We'll see if that plays out. And you can see the trend trying to come up out of the ground, trying to. May or may not succeed, but it might. They always start with a 1 minute. We have the 1 minute 5. If this is on your desktop, you may choose to use different intervals, a singular interval, maybe a third interval. I mean, you can configure it any number of ways, and we try to show you how and what you might be able to do. But let's do this. Let's put the VIX on a daily. 69 days ago, the VIX started trending down. So May 13th. At that moment in time, the signal is going to go out to everyone who's got this on their desktop, and certainly monthly members, they hear about it at night, but that the market is going to be trying to go up at almost every turn. I mean, when these sell-offs occur, the people who haven't participated, they want to get in, so they'll want to come up. So it'll have this persistent, and it has, I would think, probably for, maybe you disagree, maybe, let us know, but for the last 69 days. Now, when you're trading intraday, there will be, just like yesterday, these real violent, rug pulls, right? Well, you can certainly exploit those. But as long as that daily VIX stays in a short basis like this, those things may be short-lived, and that's what that means. Now let's go to the ES on a daily. Oh, 73 days ago. 73 days ago on May 7th. So before the VIX turned down, the ES started up. Now, if you had bought just one mini contract, just one, and you rolled it over once or twice, maybe just really once, but you would have 35 grand. Yeah, that's not bad. If you did it with a micro, you'd have 3,500. If you did it with 10 minis, you get the capital, 350 grand. That might work. How about the NQ? Let's put the NQ on a daily. 76 days ago, 76, back on May 2nd, the percent return, you've made much more money on the percentage return. That's probably I probably got to think about renaming that, because what that says is the 13.92% really isn't the percent return. It's the percentage increase between the entry signal and where it is now, right? Let's see. Yeah, I had to look for a minute. It's at 20,000, even though it's crazy. So one mini contract, you're up 56 grand. One micro, if you're still in it, 5,600. 10 minis is 560,000. Folks, the pros, the insurance companies, the hedge funds, they're trading hundreds, thousands of these things, man. They don't get to build those big houses out there in, the Hamptons and Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket by accident, right? But, a person needs to learn the game, pay their dues, stay within themselves. You'll hopefully get where you want to go and then some, and have learned a skill set that will serve you really well. And it's something you can do for years to come. I won't take you through all the others unless anybody wants to. If you want to see any particular market or silver, I tell you, the gentleman Kangsu, I think was commenting about silver. So let's put silver on a daily. Let me just show you. So if you had gone long silver 63 days ago at 33.98 with one mini contract, you'd be up 19 grand. Did it with 10, 190 grand. That'll work, right? Let's put it on a hourly. Let's see what's going on in an hourly. Let's go here, 60 minute. So the 60 minute is down 23 hours ago. Excuse me, is up. So I would expect the market to be down on an hourly, and it is. 72 hours ago, the market turned down. In Q, 74 hours. I mean, this 15 grand with mini, right? And then we can even go in here and look at silver. Well, Don, I'm confused. The daily is long, but the hourly is short, and the 5 minute is long, and the 1 minute is short. Yes, yes, right? This is like the surface of the ocean, right? There are cross currents, and if you're going to surf, you need one. I think it's a pretty good idea that you learn how to swim. Hmm? I know. I mean, you could you wear a wetsuit that's a little buoyant, but if you get caught in a riptide, you might want to know how to swim. I'm not saying, and you might want to be comfortable in water. You might want to be comfortable with a little bit of risk, and you might want to have practice a little bit, right? I don't think, if you're a new swimmer, or a new surfer, that you want to go up to North Carolina this week and say, hey, let's go out the Outer Banks and do a little surfing. I, but yet people do that day in, day out, week in, week out. Honey, I just retired and I'm gonna start surfing the markets. Been a real successful investor, and I'm gonna start doing that. Let me know how that turns out. Just do yourself a favor. If you find a niche and it's working well, keep doing it. But if you find yourself in a rip current, you better get out before you drown. And you better stop, get your fanny to the beach, and stop. Think about what you just did. Think about what you need to do, and then make a decision to either do it or not do it. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Don't call me. I'm not here to make anybody do it. I'm not here to tell you that you will do it. I'm not. No. No. I'm not. Nope. We have no shortage of folks that want to be mentees, right? I'm a mentor. Susan is too. We have no shortage. In fact, the Q schools will be done for this year in early November. I can pretty much bank on that, unless we make an exception, but I kind of don't think so. Okay, because we start out every year, we've said this for the last 4 to 5 years, that come early November, well, every year we have a limited number of annual licenses. Anyone who goes through Q School, I reserve them a spot. If they finish Q School and say, Don, I like it, I did well, I learned a ton, I want to do it, I want to become an annual member, they're going to have a spot. But we will only issue so many licenses a year, and when they're full, they're full. And we will then restart in January. So if you're thinking about doing it, don't. It's first come first serve, and when they're full, I won't. We've done it. That's just the way we've done it. We had one exception. I think it was last year, and I hope I don't want to jinx myself, but we got kind of waylaid and kind of, because we got hit with a little bit of a hurricane, and it kind of messed things up. We were without power and all that nonsense. So hopefully we don't have any of that going on this year. Fingers crossed. All right. So the program is running. Let me know if you get any questions. You want to look at any markets. Happy to show you. You can see that swing machine. Now you're on delay. You're about 40,000 milliseconds delayed, which is 40 seconds, and that's an eternity when you're trading intraday on YouTube. So just know that. We're not broadcasting these YouTube sessions so that you can be there 40 seconds later, placing trades. I mean, if you have a live feed, you're going to see there's a 40-second delay. There's nothing I can do about that. That's a YouTube thing. So we're not doing these YouTube sessions. We're not doing them to try to prove anything. We're not trying to give you the fish. We're just here to show you what we're looking at, what we're doing. Maybe it inspires you. Maybe it invites you to look at our website. Maybe it invites you to do something entirely different. That's totally okay. All right, it's totally we're totally fine. Like I say, we're not hurting for for mentees. We for the last 4 to 5 years, it's we're handling as many folks as we can. We never, and I will say this may sound strange, we never expected to have thousands of people or anything of the sort, and we're not doing that. I don't want to do that. So I'm in a position in my life where we can pretty much do what we want to do, and that's what we're doing. And I'm not. I never wanted to be doing what everyone else does. Which is a subscription, and we're gonna send out alerts, and you're gonna I'm gonna you know um, do that sort of thing. You know what that is, and that crap is out there, and I do think it's crap. What we're doing differently is we're taking our time with you, and we're talking. We try, for monthly members, but it's difficult, right? If you're only a monthly member, I don't get to spend the quality time with you. I don't know your level of experience. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I don't know what you know and what you don't know. So it's hard for me. You can still reach out. So if you're a monthly member coming through and like, hey Don, still reach out. I never want to turn anyone away. I'll try to connect and give you some insights. Um, Annual members, though, we what we're trying to do is before you become an annual member, you can't even do it today. Like if you listen and say, "Hey, I'm signing up as an annual member," no, you won't. Yeah, I won't. I'll send your money back. And I've done it. I've done it. I had a person that came in and said, "I'm signing up." And I'm like, "Well, you got to go through school." All right, I'm signing up. And he signed up for Q School and he signed up for the annual. No, I sent the annual money back. I said, no, 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 no. We're going to go through Q School. And it's 3+ weeks, but it's probably going to be a little longer. That is going to be up to you. We discuss this with each person. Um, you may have a vacation in between. You may have a business trip. You may have some unique demands on your time. Talk to me. Let's pencil it in. Let's figure it out. What I'm trying to do is give folks an opportunity during the Q School to say, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. Thank you, Don. I learned a lot, but I don't want to do it before becoming an annual. We're totally okay with that. It's not usual, but we have had a few that have said, yeah, you know what, Don, it's more than I thought. We had one person say, you don't have to be a programmer. You don't. We will do a lot of the programming. But if you do program, all the better. I'm not going to tell you not to. We don't teach programming because I'm not a programmer by trade, right? So, but we do a lot of programming, um, and we don't dissuade it. I just don't teach it per se. I mean, we can offer some tips around the edges. Um, what else are we going to say on that front? But this is, again, learning to trade your game. So when it comes to alerts, you can build your own alert. So maybe, like we have members that like to trade the 2 minute and the 7 minute. We have some members that just want to trade a particular time frame. It might be 10 minute. It might be 30 minute. Well, you can set alerts. You can build your own alerts. And you can have your computer running at home, and that alert will trigger and go to your phone. And you can take action or not take action. You can do that sort of thing. So you're not relying on me. I mean, you might have another market that you want. Maybe you want to be trading coffee or soybean meal. Susan does. And so we'd rather, slow things down and teach you how to go about doing that so you can maximize your time, maximize your capital, minimize your emotions, and hopefully start moving in the right direction. That's what we're trying to do. But I can't promise an outcome. Um, I wish I could tell you we have a very, very high retention level at the monthly level. We absolutely do. It's very, very high. I wish it was as high on the annual level, but it isn't. It isn't. I wish it was. And the folks that choose, and because the renewals are a barometer to us to how we're doing and how the tools are doing and how people are doing. So we also learn, right, from one year to the next, in different markets, what we, as working with Stock Market Caddy, what we might want to be doing different. I should probably put in a moniker up here. I forgot to do this. Um, Let me go do this before I forget. Then I'm going to forget where I was, so somebody can remind me. I'm in a Biden moment. God forbid. All right, so live, and today is August 20, and the time was 1. I think it was 1 p.m. we started. That sound okay? All right, so we got a little moniker there. So I did. I knew that was going to happen. I kind of tripped myself up, so I kind of forgot where I was. But the big part is that you get to learn. Let me bring this euphoria into view. You get to learn how to play your game, and that's the beautiful part. I always felt better. I always said to Susie, we do this. I want to empower people to make their own decisions. I kind of like to do that, period, and almost everything. And when I was working for the man, I worked for some very large, very successful companies. Had a great career. It was fun, challenging. Had a lot of responsibility at a very young age, and but even then, I encourage people to stretch, and to do their own thing. I was very secure in doing that. Um, so I'm still very secure in doing that. The question, but I guess where I was going is, we have had some people say, there was one gentleman that said he actually did pretty well during his Q school, but he said at the end, he goes, Don, I really hate the computer. He didn't have to program, but he was having a problem with copying, pasting. That's kind of where his computer skills were. And he goes, I just hate it. I'm like, okay, well then let's not do it, right? Don't do something you hate, because we use the computers in a big way. And we're using them more and more in writing programs around AI and using AI, so, which is phenomenal. But you got to know how to use it. You got to, AI isn't going to just be a panacea for everything. It's going to make the people that are most interested, most passionate about whatever it is they're doing better. But it isn't going to, turn someone into something they're not. I think that's always going to be the case. But there are going to be some people left behind, and there always is, right? That's always the case. Um, Hey Teddy, everything okay, buddy? Unhappy? I don't know what's going on. What do you want? We got two Goldens here. So that was one gentleman. Another gentleman also did pretty well. He was from New York, a very nice guy. This goes back a couple of years ago. And he got to the end of the queue school. He said, something, Don, I didn't realize I was that involved. He goes, I really, and I really don't want to spend that much time doing it. All right, that's cool. So he didn't go forward. He didn't go forward. Trying to think what else. Um, sometimes people fight it, right? Sometimes people fight it. Had one gentleman. He seemed to be very very successful. Seemed to be very smart. Maybe he has figured it out. I haven't heard from him. But one of the things was he thought that he didn't want any tools. He thought that all you had to do was was to um, write a program around your P&L on your account. I mean, he had it in his mind. This, and I listened to him very well. I'm like, what do you mean? You know, well, just don't track the price action. Don't trade the price action of what everyone else is doing. Just trade the action of your account. So in essence, what he was saying is the strategy does not matter. All that matters is my money management. And that's all that it should be. And the program should only be to that extent. Well, that won't work. I don't think. And if it works for you and you can figure it out, but I'm like, no, I don't think that's going to work. And but he thought it could, and maybe maybe he's off doing that and having a good time. I don't know, but money management is a very big part of trading. No question about it. Not just money management, time management, risk management, very big, very important. No question about it. And you do need to be able to do that mechanically on your own. You absolutely do. And then it's also a big part of when we move from mechanical trading to algorithmic trading using the machines. It is. But you can't, just set a profit target and a stop loss and flip a coin and get it done. It won't work. We can write a program to do it. It won't work. Um, it can work for spurts, but it won't work over the long haul. You can experiment. You can do it. You can set it up. That won't work. So there's no cornering the market, right? Not trying to give anyone the impression or the suggestion that we have cornered the market or that you could corner the market. The Hunt brothers tried to do that with silver, back some decades ago. I think it was back in the 70s, wasn't it? The Hunt brothers? I think it was the 70s that they did it. They almost did it, and then they changed the rules. They almost had it done, and then the government stepped in and changed the rules, and they almost bankrupted them. So they can even do that. Bitcoin. We keep Bitcoin up. We don't trade it. The leverage is ginormous. You can trade micro Bitcoin contracts. You can certainly do that. The liquidity is probably a little better. The big contract that you see there is very illiquid, and the margin is ginormous. But we do keep it up. Bitcoin was up, get up to what, 124,000, and she's already back. What percentage is that? 10%, 10% back, pullback. Not intraday, but on a position basis. So the program, let me just double check, is she still hasn't fired. Kind of would have liked to have seen it go. I can see swing machines, so now we can trade swing. We're not at the moment, so no, the program has not fired. Um, but let me just double check and make sure that I've got this baby ready to go. And I kind of would have liked to have. I say I got a little bit slower than I thought, but that's okay. Yeah, but it's triggered to go. So we'll let you watch. Okay, I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back. It's about 1:45. I'll be back around probably about 2:15. I'll let you watch, and if you have any markets or stocks you want us to look at, write them down. Let me know. Formulate any questions. Visit the website and let me know how things are going. And talk to Chris. Chris is there. Maybe if he wants to answer, he may or may not. But he is a recent annual member. Chris did very well in Q School, and but Chris also came to us with trading experience and also very good trading instinct. Right? Right? He's a competitor. So have fun, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. And I just poked my head back in. All right, so this particular trade is going against us a little bit. Swing machine isn't, but we're not trading swing. Let me just take a peek. Yeah, she sucked in on this buy, and we're gonna let the program run it. Any questions? Let us know. And when you have these tools at your fingertips, it'll be up to you, right? You get to decide what you want to run, what you want to do, right? I can't possibly do it for you. Nobody can. That's why these services, the word service, and you know, it has to be at your fingertips. We'll offer a running commentary here on swing, right? The program is running what it's doing. It's doing its thing. It's going to, I can't get into what it's doing here, but I can discuss swing because you can see it. The 5 minute VIX confirms long at 210. At 210. So that for an annual member that has this on their desktop, can't be waiting for an alert from me, and there would be no reason to be watching on YouTube per se, right? They got it on their desktop. Our feeds, by the way, we're seeing the price action. The fastest TradeStation can send is 10 milliseconds from the exchange. That's the fastest we can get it. We believe that our feed is about 12 to maybe 15, 16 milliseconds. Milliseconds. How many milliseconds are in a second? 1,000. How many milliseconds does it take to blink an eye? 400 to 600 milliseconds. So that's how fast. Now, because of YouTube, because they build in a delay, like a call-in radio station or a TV network, they build in a delay of 40 seconds. That's 40,000 milliseconds. That's a long way away, right? So I wouldn't be encouraging anyone to be trying to trade at this level, especially with any significant size, based on what anything that you see on YouTube, whether it be live or not live, because it's so late, right? It's so late. Um, let's take a peek though. The 5 minute goes short on the ES at 215, 5 minutes after this one. Now this may or may not work out, but you're seeing it now, right? And the program we're seeing what we're seeing. It got us long, and but we're not trading swing on it. So probably should have. I say that a lot, but we try to do different things. So if a person took that trade, we have a member that has it set to 5 minute, and they had it set by the machine, they would be in it. Give or take a tick or two. And a tick on a ES is $12.50. So they'd be very, very close to it. Could be up, could be down, but they'd be very close. The NQ on a 5 minute also goes short at 215. The YM goes short at 210. The Russell goes short at 210. Now, I don't ask the question why, because it's pointless. I was like, why? I don't know. It's snowing outside. I kind of wish it was. It's so damn hot. But you don't ask why. It's just snowing. It's raining. So you put your galoshes on and you take the dog for the walk in the rain. You don't really ask why is it raining. It's raining. Or the sun is out. Whatever. So the market is doing whatever the market does. If you find yourself asking why, that is the rational brain, the rational part of your brain trying to make sense of it all. The sooner you park that, the happier you'll be. You'll be a happier trader, and you'll begin to turn a corner, realizing that at least intraday, it has nothing else matters than the price action. Okay, so the machine just took a hit on me, and pretty good hit too there, didn't it? Oh, that's for the day. I got it. No, we're okay. So I'm kind of glad the program did that because I was watching it too, right? So now we're in sync. It wasn't Swing Machine that put that trade in. It could have been, but it wasn't. But at least now I feel better because I'm watching Swing Machine. I know what Swing Machine can do, and let's just make sure that we got 5 of those. Looks a little thin. I hope so. We got 5. Let's go look. Yeah, we got 5 of them. 5 micros. So it's half of a mini. And that happened pretty fast. I don't like to be, but the only way I can assure that I'm not against Swing Machine is to have Swing Machine filtering or Swing Machine just doing it. And sometimes other programs will see what they see and do what they do. So it kind of balances out. But I have utmost respect for Swing, and I kind of don't like to be against it for very long. So we'll see how this plays out. It knocked us down for the day, that singular trade, but we're okay. I hope you're okay. All right, so let's go back to where we be. So we draw a distinction between discretionary trading, mechanical trading, robot trading, and robot hedging. If anybody's got any questions around that, let me know. There's a difference. And you got to be good, particularly on the left side. You got to be good with discretionary trading. You do. You absolutely do. You need to be able to do it manually and then mechanically, and you do before running the robots. So don't think that you can jump the shark. Like, I'm not going to have to learn how to drive the car. I'm just going to buy the car, and the car is going to drive me to LA. Maybe one day, but I don't know about that. We can get the machine to do it, in short bursts for you, but you're going to do much, much better over the long haul if you have the confidence that if necessary, you could turn the robot off and drive the car or fly the plane. That's kind of what I'm trying to describe. Hopefully that makes sense. This isn't for everybody. It just isn't. Got to be a unique bird, and you got to have some risk capital and some time. Okay, everyone. So we're still in the same position, and we're suffering a little bit of a draw, a little bit of a whip. So, it is what it is, right? We're okay. Hope you're in one piece, and let us know though if there's anything that we can answer for you, anything that you'd like to look at, and I'm happy to do that. We do the YouTube sessions again, not to prove an outcome, but just to create some awareness, right? So we're going to let you watch. We're going to let you watch right up until the close around 4:15. Now we'll watch it closely between the 4 and 4:15 hour because there could be some earnings that could pop through. I don't think Nvidia's today, but there could be some earnings calls. So we'll keep you posted. Let us know any questions. Thanks. Okay, folks, I did not do that. The machine exited. That's okay. Now, we're not trading swing. We're not. But let's just take a look. the five, and we got, there were a couple of conflicting signals, but he won't stay wrong for long. He won't. He won't. The VIX at 250 turns down. At 250, the ES turns up. At 250, the NQ turns up. At 255, the YM turns up. At 310, a little bit later, the Russell turns up. Now we'll see if we're going to catch another bus coming back the other way on the program, but that's what it's doing, folks. It is what it is. Now you get to choose the intervals. You don't even have to trade minutes, right? You can trade ticks, as in transaction. 500 ticks would be 500 transactions. Not exactly quantity, because there could be a fury. There could be 500 contracts, there could be 3,000 contracts, but it's a transaction. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dawn. It's about 3:50, and not our best effort today on the machine, but she's doing okay. She's pulling us back a little bit. Let's take a look at swing, which is not what it's trading, but if on a 5 minute, let's not look at the 1 minute. Let's look at the 5 minute. 250. If you took the 250 long on a mini, you're up 750. If you took the 250 long, you're up 1400. If you took the 255, you waited 5 minutes, you're up 390. If you're up 310, you're up 250. If you went short in any of this, you lost or you're losing. At 4:15, we'll need to turn down because we need all our resources. We'll look for you later in the week, and your opportunity to visit Stock Market Caddy and peruse. What are your questions? Hopefully, will be answered there. And if you still have questions and you want to give us a shout, you can email me and or you can call any day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 813-758-8263. If you're getting it done with whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. Rinse, repeat, repeat, rinse, just over and over and over again. No big deal. But if you're not, don't hesitate to reach out. You're very welcome, Tina. And everyone, I'll just say thank you for stopping by. We're going to continue to run our machines, and we'll look for you hopefully later in the week and try to give you an update in what we're working on. And for those of you that are coming by either now or later and not familiar with Stock Market Academy, we invite you to visit the site. Hope you had a good day. I hope you're having a good week, and we'll see you next time in the markets here shortly at about 4:15 when the market closes. It closes for 15, and then there's some bank settlement for about a half hour, and but at 4:15 we will need to bring the broadcast to a close. Thanks. You're very welcome, Tina.